Hello everyone, I am Sargam Tiwari and I hope you all are enjoying our event. I would like to thank you everyone for joining this session. I am going to invite Mr. Ajulo, the CEO and founder of Zarttech. He is a seasoned executive with over 12 years of experience in technology, extensive leadership, operations, and management. Nanshan is a passionate advocate for empowering people and enabling them to make informed decisions and implement change in their own lives and other lives as well. That definitely sounds interesting. So let's begin. Hi Nansan, welcome to our event. I hope you are doing well.
Hi, Sagam. Thanks for the introduction and happy to be here today. Also to share my point of view and also experience with everyone, and also hope to get some feedback at the end of the conversation. Thanks.
Sure. So yes, Nansan, now all stage is yours. Thank you.
Yeah, I think it's quite a very interesting topic that I will be speaking about today because it's all about how remote work or the whole innovations of our mankind and also just allowing ourselves to be able to work at distance and being vulnerable and being open to not having that harsh control which I feel like most organizations want to, and also just being innovative and being open to try out new things and how these innovations have actually also helped to contribute in some other social ways, not only in direct, let's say, productivity increment, but also how this has also helped to mitigate brain drain, and while also contributing to social economic redistributions globally in different economies. And at the same time, of course, also solving the issue or the problem that we have in talent scarcity. A bit of a background, there's a huge population shift that's ongoing right now. And some of this population shift, I mean, there's a lot of consequences of reason of why. And some of this population shift is very heavy in the West, whereby we have more aging populations and the birth rate is not going up. So what
Yes.
happened is that then in the future, like in the next 20, 30 years to come, by 2050, there's going to be such a very huge drastic change in global populations that even currently at the moment now, at least China is one of the most populous country that's going to fall over time. The US is one of the most populous country that's just going to fall over time, and the leading populations in the world will be countries like India, Nigeria, and some of the also African country, which has a huge populations at the moment, and that's also going to impact the economy negatively or positively, depends on how the whole population size is leveraged. And this is where remote work comes into practice because on the West, when we have in the West, in let's say in places like Netherlands, where I'm calling from at the moment, if we have aging populations and we don't have enough populations size that could actually help to get the work done. Because again, maybe a bit of background, of course, the Western economies also have the interest to continue productions because we need production to remain internationally competitive in the global marketplace. So that
Correct,
means human
correct.
capital is super important because the human capital is what, let's say, for example, multiply the $1 that we invest into $2, $3, of course, including other kind of mechanism of what's it called of capital that also lead to that investment output. But the human capital is such a very important aspect of it. And with the increment in educations in different economies or different countries, such as in Africa and Asia, that has also helped us to improve the quality of the human capital in this place to be able to participate also in the global what's it called production. That also mean that then now we can include now far or further human resources in our global development chain. And this is the innovation that remote workers bring to light. That now we can also redistribute global economic, global opportunities to places where they would never have been in the first place. And that's, I feel like that's just a beauty of remote work. And being able to now redistribute the global opportunities to places that it wouldn't have been in the first place also help us to prevent brain drain. Just to give a bit of background and information about what brain drain is, because I feel like sometimes this is a very new terminology for a lot of people. uh, Brain drain happens, or brain drain, maybe it's just, maybe to just give a bit of background. Let's say if I was born, for example, in Pakistan, or let's say if I was born in Netherlands, for example, and I grew up in Netherlands, and the Netherlands, the Dutch economy invested in my primary education, in my secondary education, because they give a lot of subsidies to make sure that I go to school and get graduated. The local community and environment have a certain expectation of me, or I've been budgeted into, let's say, the curriculum that, okay, we're expecting 20 doctors to be done this year. So, and then that local economy have an expectation as an investment. But then the moment, let's say, I am now fully brought up, but then I don't reinvest my knowledge into that local economy, or don't directly impact that local economy with a kind of, let's say, FDI, let's say, in form of remote work, which remote work is bringing in now, which is beautiful. If I don't have that, but then I am moved away from that economy to a new economy, which maybe is very good in branding, which is very attractive, which most of the Western economies are actually that way, then that situation is where there's a brain drain and where there's a loss to the local economy that lost that talent to the more maybe beautiful economy that maybe have a better advertisement, or that has better branding, or better what's it called, feel to the talent, that attract the talent away from this economy. So that's where brain drain happens. But of course, this is not always a negative things, because also sometimes there's no employment, or if there's unemployment, the local economy as well, you can also justify maybe in terms of opportunity cost, that maybe brain drain is okay. But with innovations like remote work, also with technology that allows remote work, now the opportunity cost of actually being able to work remotely from the comfort of your home, from your country, becomes even a better choice, a better solution, because now you can receive money in your local economy and also spend it, and also spend it around and cause that economic multiplication to businesses, local businesses, let's say the saloon or the eatery where you buy your food from, and that leads to more wealth creations and more multiplication effect. And whereas the Western organizations, or Western companies, which are, let's say, also having the issues of scarcity of talent, can also access talent that they wouldn't have access in the first place, and they will be able to also do more production, which creates a win-win balance in equal partnership for the first time. And I think that's the beauty of remote work at large. Thank you.
Definitely, Nansel. And even after college, even after COVID, we all have seen, like, in especially in tech industry, remote working, working very effectively, right? And as you have mentioned about your new terminology is brain dead. So it's a similar, like, new terminology is also very hot nowadays, is the moonlighting, right? And especially in tech industry, we saw many big giants have fired their employees for moonlighting. So I would like to understand what's your view on moonlighting, and are you in favor, or according to you, how it impacts people?
Well, it's quite very interesting. I think it depends, and this is also a very controversial topic, I would say. Um, of course, I did my PhD in the efficiency of human capital, and but I also feel like, well, we all have different strengths. Some people are very good at multitasking, but also, I think from my years of experience, I also know focus is key. I mean, I do a lot of things at the same time, so it's very hard for me to say that. But of course, but it's very paramount, and it's also easy to say that if you're focused on something, you're gonna get it right. And if you're focused on also on your mind, then you can be more innovative. You can be more, you can do what you do better with a strict focus. So let's say we concept of moonlighting, whereby people then have a second job or a third job, even or fourth job, or whereby it's even hard to even know who get the work done. And I think it's just maybe I think this is the beginning of a huge problem to come, because I honestly believe that remote work is here to stay. And some of the problems, of course, as we innovate, as we develop into new processes, also come new problems as well. Actually, this problem, we have seen this problem from our side in Zarttech like almost a year and a half ago, and we've been building a very robust system to actually solve this problem. So it's just quite interesting that you
Oh.
asked the question about the same situation. And honestly, I do personally believe that there's a huge problem coming from this angle, and this is just the beginning of it. Because I do feel like it's super hard, especially with Moonlight, to actually achieve that high productivity or that high result of innovations that we used to function with in the corporate environment. Whereas it becomes also super hard to then control when people are also allowed to work from the comfort of their home and there's no right measures here and there to what's it called to control that. And that's why we've come up with a very interesting solution to actually curve that. And I think the solution is not giving laptop and you can put as much security as possible on this on a
Correct.
certain laptop. If they have a second job, they want to get a second laptop and do it on that second laptop. And yeah, so that's not what's it called the solutions for organizations. But we are really excited and looking forward to announce the solution. Hopefully by February, March next year. And then, of course, we hope that we're also going to blast this into the news as well for more people to hear. But personally, I do think that productivity might be affected because concentration is key. But I also feel like also we are moving more to a socialist kind of market whereby employers and organizations also need to share the interest or the growth of the organizations with their employees so that it's not only one-sided kind of gain, but everyone that work and also sacrifice and focus on helping the company grow benefit from the company's growth at large.
Definitely, Nansal. As you have mentioned about the productivity here, right? So, as a company, it's very hard to those those people who are working remotely, and also like we can how we can get work from them to very productivity, right? So on this point, what are your points from this? Like how as a company any employer can increase productivity of their employee. So any point on this?
I think it's important to. I think, of course, we have this basic instinct of ownership, and that's one of the reasons why NFT is also here to stay. Right, that sense of ownership and right, and that you can also own things virtually and have the right of ownership transfer. It's also the same for businesses as well. Ownership and also being able to participate in increment or growth of the organization is key. Personally, of course, you can buy a lot of psychological approach books, or you can. But if people get to participate in the growth of the organizations, I think it becomes a very instant, rewarding. What's it called? Atmosphere for organizations. Like let's say, for example, organization issuing out stock appreciation right or some form of stock options to the employees to also benefit in the growth of the organization. I think is key to increasing productivity. And when employees are committed and also committed to the concept or to the company at large, of course, you see clear productivity eventually. The most successful organizations are those that have what you call very committed, high performance employees, indeed, or workforce.
Yeah, thank you, Nasser. And I hope this will
Thanks.
help many employees as well, right? So definitely, like there are most of our audience are job seekers, but still, like these, I think these insights will help employees as well. So thank you so much, Nelson. We are running out of time here, but it was a pleasure to meet you here, and thank you for this wonderful session. And let's go
Yep.
ahead. Yeah, thank
Thanks
you.
for having me, and good to be here. Thanks.
Thank you everyone for joining this session. See you all in our next session. Stay tuned. Thank you.